Hello, this video is going to be about the subject of meditation directly. I have an uploaded video of a guided meditation, and I should create many more so that you can use them while you are practicing by yourself at home if you are not yet sure in your practice. And now this will be an explanatory video because one of the subscribers asks questions which I believe many others also think about and would be happy to get answers to. So, while meditating, what should we actually do? Focus on the breath or focus between eyebrows? These are the types that we were told by a school teacher, types of practice. So, I should say first and foremost that there is no particular exercise that we should do. Meditation is not an exercise. Meditation is the connection with the truth of happening as it is. There are methods and techniques and exercises, but those are just to use only and not to attach, just to develop the recognition of the work of mind and body together. So there is no particular part of the body that we should be focused on, or a process of the breath, or the eyebrows, or the abdomen. Those are objects that are offered by some techniques, and whatever you focus on, this will give you more or less the same result of attempt to develop concentration. However, this concentration will not develop wisdom and the understanding of the truth. So the real meditation is the connection to the truth. This is vipassana. Vipassana is an insight from observation. So don't try to focus anywhere. Just invite the reality as it is in front of your mindfulness, in front of your attention. All we need to know about meditation is to be mindful. This will not be enough though, because only mindful means knowing and continuing to know with our habit. And our habit is actually habit created by ignorance. Ignorance of our birth and ignorance of the whole samsara. So we need to come out of ignorance. We need to develop detachment. We need to develop detachment from the habit of knowing, from the habit of grasping, from the habit of giving names and making something real, of fixating something, or really focusing on something. We need to detach from that. So every moment should be filled just with mindfulness and detachment. In that time, whatever appears in our mindfulness naturally becomes the object of that moment mindfulness. And from that object, we should detach. We should detach from understanding that this is something and we want to stay with this object forever. Because nothing stays forever. We see many examples from our lives that nothing is forever. But moreover, Dhamma teaches us, and by our own practice of meditation, we can experience that every moment has the same characteristic of anicca, impermanence, dukkha, unsatisfactoriness of that impermanence that brings nothing. It comes just to go. It is born just to die. And anatta, no self. We can't control, we can't do anything about it, we can't influence it. It will be like that. So every moment has the characteristic of anicca, dukkha, anatta. In Tabarwa tradition, we name it as ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature. My teacher, Sayadaw Otamasara, offers this explanation to help us to detach from someone or something. Because by habit of perception, because of ignorance, whatever we perceive, whatever we recognize, we take as whole, we take as something real, something existing. So he helps us to change our understanding from something and someone to the nature of happening. So in our meditation, our goal is to meet the nature and stay with the nature from one moment to another. The nature is in every moment. It is a nature of change, ever changing, always changing, selfless, without control, without one core, impermanent nature, impermanent. It is not permanent, it always is new. So ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature is what we try to see and know with mindfulness by the method of detachment. If we detach from every object, we let it be naturally impermanent. Anyway, everything comes and goes. But if we attach, we try to prolong it. We associate ourselves with this as a knower or as an owner. As pain, for example, we become the owner of the pain. We take this pain as real, as something, and we keep it for a long time, durable, and then we suffer from it because we go against the nature. We should see the nature of the pain. The pain is not something. We should see it as ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature. Just every moment coming and going. The pain actually is just a sensation that arises and disappears. The new moment, immediately after, a new one arises and disappears. This is how we should know. Also, with that practice, we will be able to know that there is the knowing of that moment that we associate with the pain. So we should change the focus of understanding pain real to nature of impermanence, nature of impermanence. And when we pay attention to the nature of impermanence, we will also see that there is not only this object, but there is an object of knowing. Then we become mindful of knowing of the previous object of pain. Then we can know the knowing of the knowing. This will be already new object, and so on. Depends how strong and stable your mind is, you will be able to keep watching the mind action or the phenomena change as the ever-changing impermanent nature, or the mind may slip down back to grosser objects like any stronger sensation in the body or any strong coming sound or breath as a habitual object that we all know and feel. We don't reject any object, we accept every of them, but we try to see the impermanence of all objects. Let me see further. So the questioner shares that they were exploring meditation applications, tried relaxation meditation, stretching and relaxing muscles of all the body, and realizing that we are in a much better physical condition, so we should be okay. So meditation actually is a mental action. It has nothing to do with the body. The body can be in any position. We can either stretch it or fixate it, or we can be lying, we can be sitting, walking, we can be moving, anything is fine. Important is that the mind is mindful and detached. Be it stretching in certain position of yoga exercise, mind should be knowing of arising and disappearing within the body. Then the mind can be mindful of the mind's reaction to that arising and disappearing within the body. Whatever comes naturally obvious in our mindfulness. Or breathing in and out with the music, and gradually, sometimes in a few minutes and sometimes in a few seconds, the mind gets completely blank without realizing the time period. Well, breathing in and out with the music, we don't need to use any instruments like music or any visualizations, because all the world is already created. Mind is a great creator due to the ignorance and detachment. So it creates a lot. We may continue using all those creations, but we will never get out of the created world. This is why we try not to create anything else. We try to free our mind and our attention from all coming objects, one after another. But if there is music, naturally it becomes also the object of meditation. We just know the hearing, we know the change of the hearing, we know the arising and disappearing, we know the knowing, we know the mindfulness of the knowing, etc. The effect that the mind becomes blank, it can also be just a relaxation. Just when the person is breathing, the person is regulating their general condition of the body, the brain also, oxygen that comes to the brain, and pleasant music. This can just relax and put into a condition close to sleeping. And then the mind can be blank. This is not bad, but this doesn't discover the reality of the truth as it is. And another comment, after doing meditation from miracle of mind application for so many times, my body was able to feel a type of heaviness between the eyebrows for many days, even after when I stopped meditating. The heaviness was not painful, but a kind of strange. Well, this is the side effect of the concentration that we make. If we really try to focus between the eyebrows, by the habit of using this body, we direct there all our attention. Even if we may close the eyes, even closed eyes, we direct in that towards that point, and this may create tension, this may create heaviness. Concentration is at all something that creates compactness, solidity, because we try to follow the same object continuously from one moment to another. We go a bit of against the truth, because the truth is about the change. But what we try to do, we try to compact one moment after another based on particular object all together. This can create the tension. So we should be natural to discover the nature. Try to practice without choosing any particular object. Be free to accept this world as it is, without overthinking, without creating. Just be an observer and just know only. Don't attach, don't reject. Just mindfulness with gentle detachment in every moment. And then try to know the nature of impermanence. Instead of knowing something and someone as the object, try to know their characteristics. And you will see that pertaining characteristics are just the same. Everything is just ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature. Have a good practice.